It's Sunday, November the 17th of 2019. I have no idea why I am on right now for episode number 298. Usually on a Sunday, we really don't get a whole lot of activity on UFO Buster Radio because people are waiting for Monday. And I understand. You guys are at work. You're trying to get some work done. You need to be distracted. You need to listen to the podcast while you're working away. And so you listen in. The first thing I got to say is that I started working on the Dark Horde Facebook page and the Twitter page. So if you're on there, there's a few people who follow it and tweet stuff about it. But if you are, feel free to share it, of course. I mean, why the fuck not? And share it with your peoples. Because I am going to be working really hard to ensure that those people who are in the world of the paranormal take heed to the fact that the Dark Horde is there for them. Not just for UFO Buster Radio, but awful, it's awful, yes indeed. But also for the fact that they produce works and they are creative contact people who have insight into UFOs, the paranormal, ghosts, cryptids, whatever it is. That's what I'm promoting. So that's why you hear a background sound right now. Get that background sound. It's kind of like an ode to the darkness of the Dark Horde. Hopefully it's not too loud. I mean, right now from the VU meter, it doesn't look too loud. So hopefully it's not driving you guys crazy. I hear some bells right now. It's kind of scary, right? And the thing is that scary is 24/7 every day of the year. Scary doesn't stop just because the holidays are here or Halloween already ended. Just look around. You'll see that. There are plenty of people who are constantly reporting scary incidents. Not just with alien probings, but also with ghosts and demons. Oh my. Bigfoot is always around somewhere lurking, ready to catch a rubber dicker who is not paying attention. And who knows what happens there when that goes down. Come on. But that's what the Dark Horde is there about. If you're an author and you're listening to UFO Buster Radio and you write about the paranormal, just go ahead. Hit hashtag Dark Horde. And right now I have the Dark One. And he's actually a Twitter bot that's capturing Twitters relating to the paranormal. So hashtag Dark Horde, and the Twitter bot is going to go in and capture your tweet and send it to the masses. I'm there for you. I think the paranormal is important, and we should do our best to listen to some of these stories and understand that there's a connection there between who you are as a human, your subconscious, your soul, and basically how that translates into some of the most amazing, scariest, and weirdest experiences you've had or that you read about. I'm Manny Moonraker. This is episode 298 of UFO Buster Radio, UFO News. So let's get back to the UFO side because I have an article here that I talked about, I would say about 6 months ago when this metamaterial information first came out. Because apparently the metamaterial was from a source that you would not believe was connected to things being locked up in Las Vegas. And really when I first saw this, that's what drove me insane. Because the connections, the deception, they go pretty deep. The problem is we don't know who is running that deception. We don't know who it is that's trying to sideswipe us on the highway of ufology. We don't. We have no fucking clue whatsoever. But they're going to continue to weave this never-ending deception to where you can't even backtrack it. You really can't. before we get this started, there's a song that I picked up today. It's called I'm a Fool for You. That really is what ufology is. Everyone that follows ufology, UFOs and aliens, you're a fool for someone. Someone that's trying to deceive you and make you look like a complete idiot because they apparently have all the answers and you've got none. But they tried their best to cover their tracks and make you look like a total fool.
I don't wanna feel this way, but it's not that easy. You're complicating things for me. No, it's not that easy. Maybe just a little time can heal me, but it doesn't feel the way. What are you doing to me? Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. I hope you come back to me. Yeah, I'm just that stupid. Thought that we were meant to be. Yeah, I'm just that stupid. Maybe just a little time can make you change your mind about us. I thought that we were meant to be. Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. For you. For you.
I figure we just jump right into this news report for today, Sunday the 17th of November. The report is, here's how Tom DeLonge's UFO research group got those alien alloys. Now, you know, this has been a story for some time, right? Alien alloy, metamaterial, whatever the hell you want to call it. Early on, the reports were saying that this metamaterial, alien alloy, was being held in Las Vegas by the one and only Deuce Bigalow, the Space Gigolo, in some warehouse. You know, and people were out there trying to figure out which warehouse in Las Vegas was Deuce Bigalow holding on to the metamaterial because we wanted to see it. We were following the story, and if someone had evidence that there was leftover remnants of a real UFO, not the ones that are just unidentified, but ones that we know were not from terrestrial sources, we wanted to get a look at it. We wanted to see what this was. What was the chemical composition? Where did it originate from? But here's the thing. According to this article, which was posted on Gizmodo.com, it turns out that rather, it is right from the article, so you guys don't think I'm rubber dicking you, rather than finding them in a shattered remains of an extraterrestrial craft, To the Stars Academy, Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 acquired the quote-unquote metamaterials from another UFO researcher. This didn't happen during a major incident that TTSA was privy to. No. Linda Moulton Howe apparently sold the metamaterial to TTSA for a nice chunk of change. $35,000 was the price in order for TTSA to further study the metamaterial. The website Motherboard scored an interview with Linda Moulton Howe, which it published last Thursday, and she says that she acquired this from a late conspiracy theorist and Coast to Coast AM host Art Bell, along with documents purportedly written by U.S. Army sergeants stating they were found by the sergeant's grandfather. Fuck the entire ufology state of mind. I want you guys to track that back. Let's just go backwards here. Basically, somebody's grandfather who had a grandchild who joined the U.S. Army had some documents from his grandpapa who said that this was alien material, who apparently he got that over to Art Bell on Coast to Coast, and then in turn that got handed over to Linda Moulton Howe, which then sold it for $35,000 to TTSA. TTSA entered into some kind of agreement with the U.S. military in order to leverage that metamaterial for whatever study they need, to enhance the United States military. I don't understand how this makes sense to anyone. I don't understand how we have gotten this far from that origin. I mean, it's not even a first-hand situation. Like, somebody didn't just go and grab the metamaterial and dump it on Linda Moulton Howe's hands. No. It basically went through like 3 other people before it got to her. But yet TTSA spent $35,000 on it. You can't write this stuff. You cannot write this stuff. You can't even write a check for things like this because it's bananas. It basically is a rubber check is what I see right here. How in the hell that someone from way back when happens to grab metamaterial, and that's a story we really need to hear, right? How did this sergeant's grandfather get a hold of the metamaterial? These so-called alien alloys. TTSA reached out in July of 2018 to Linda Moulton Howe because they were trying to analyze the material. And there's a quote here from the interview that Linda Moulton Howe had with Motherboard, and says, TTSA, they called me up and said, we'd like to be able to do an agreement where you could come to San Diego and deliver the piece to us. We've got a lab that we're pretty sure they're going to be able to do the terahertz test. So there you go. The Army contract with TTSA actually states that the material might be studied for things such as inertial mass reduction, electromagnetic metamaterial waveguides, quantum physics, quantum communications, and beamed energy propulsion. What? Really? How do you get that from something that's like passed through like 4 different fucking people as something that should be really important? Apparently, there's a lot of physicists out there that have expressed an immense amount of skepticism, not only about the material, but the Navy patents that followed recently. Navy patents that have to do with high energy magnetic fields and fusion reactors. It could be possible that the Army is seeking similar technologies in order to kind of keep in abreast, if you will, of this conversation regarding metamaterial. You can't even explain what the hell this is. This just makes no sense to me. Again, that's really like going back how many generations before you even get to Linda Moulton Howe? And how did they keep this secret for so long? It's baffling in so many ways. It's almost a really sad situation that this grandfather and this grandkid and then Art Bell, of all people. Here's one guy who reported his situations constantly on his show, but he kept a secret until Linda Moulton Howe decided to take it off his hands. There's got to be more to the story, a lot deeper than this. And why would you let the material go for 35 G's? If you really think about it, any material that really is from a source other than terrestrial origins, it's pretty much priceless. Completely priceless. I mean, you're holding the holy grail of UFO study when it comes to the idea that maybe these are not terrestrial. There is something amiss here, and I would think that Art Bell and Linda Moulton Howe had enough people that they're in contact with to actually have these metamaterial or alloys actually reviewed, studied, and tested over and over again. Now, how did this wait? How did this sit dormant until the appearance of To the Stars Academy is beyond me? Completely crazy. I mean, the story is just wild. It's hard to imagine why this took so long, especially when it went through 2 folks which had a lot of contact, a lot of people, a lot of scientists, a lot of folks in the know that they never even saw this metamaterial to the point where they could take it to a lab and test it. It's just completely strange to me. I don't understand how this is happening. But that's the story right now. That's where the metamaterial came from, that the U.S. Army decided to get into an agreement with To the Stars Academy and Tom DeLonge. It's just wild. Completely wild. Bananas right now. But what can you do, right? That's the state of ufology right now. It's frantic. It's crazy. It's dog eat dog and alien probe alien. That's what it sounds like right now. But for the moment, I got another song for you. And check it out.
Let's get some sun, baby. It's time to go. All we need to put on is the radio. I can feel the heat is rising, and that beat is hypnotizing. No, we run the show. Let's get louder, come on, lose control. Ain't no limit while we go for more. We can shine, shine a little tonight. Shine a little tonight. Shine a little Let's hit the club, time to make a move. We got it late, ain't got nothing to prove. I can feel the heat is rising, and that beat is hypnotizing. Oh, no, we run the show. Let's get louder, come on, lose control. Got to live or we get too old. Come on, shine a little tonight. Let's get louder, come on, lose control. Ain't no limit while we go for more. We can shine a little tonight. Shine a little tonight. Shine a little tonight. Oh, shine a little tonight. Oh yeah, we can shine, shine a little tonight. We can shine, shine a little tonight.
That's right. So get ready for the next article. But I do have Gutter, who is in the chat box right now. And he just asked a question. He said, hey, Manny Moonraker, are you a football fan or are you all about space? And here's a little story about this, sir. Let me just wind it back for a second for you guys. That's so that you get to know a little bit more about the Moonraker. Moonraker was born and raised in New York and absolutely hated with a passion the Giants and the Jets. But there was a team that was driven to win against those two teams and against the Redskins too, because the Redskins would get on my last damn nerve. And that was the San Francisco 49ers, which was led by Joe Montana back in the day. And that was the team that I gravitated to just because they always seemed to find a way to poo-poo on the, on the Giants and the Redskins, which are really the two teams that I really disliked the most. So I gravitated to them. Then Jerry Rice came on the scene. Oh, Jerry Rice. And then, Montana kind of took a hike. And, of course, we have Steve Young. Steve Young. Another superstar. After Young left, shit went in the shitter for a while, to be honest. They had a few moments where it looked like it was going to come together for them and they could be the team that they were, back then. But no fucks are given. They did not. Yeah, they could not do it. Even in the last few years, prior to this year, we got that one guy who likes to take a knee. Well, shit, if you would have paid more fucking attention to football than taking a fucking knee, you might have been somebody, player. That's my opinion on that. Why don't you do your job first and then take on your causes? Because that's what you're being paid for. Do your shit on the side. And you get it. It meant something to you. And it meant something to a lot of people because it's a social cause. But fuck my life. Why don't you play the fucking game? That's what we're watching you for with your big ass fro. It's the game. Just do it. But the Niners are back at it. Now, Does it seem to be like they might have caught a lot of people off guard with their new roster? I think they did. I think they caught a lot of people off guard. They have no idea what to do. So we have a little Cinderella story. Now, would they make it to the first round of the playoffs? Probably. Are they going to end up all the way at the big game? I don't think so. I like them. I've always been a 49ers fan. It's the only team that I really enjoy. But no fucks are given. It's a good year. Either way. Let's get into the second story for today. Thanks, Guter. Oumuamua is back in the news. Now, this thing is probably long fucking gone. No one can even put eyes on this thing anymore. But it's still in the news because, science is still baffled in a way that they just have to come up with an explanation because they look like total rubber dickers, like completely empty heads when this particular, deep space rock or probe, whatever it is you feel it is, decided to go through our solar system. It caught them completely off guard. The article says scientists rule out aliens as the explanation for Oumuamua. Yeah, they sure did. They were totally stumped, as the article says, for 2 years as to what Oumuamua was when it came through our solar system. Yeah, not just astronomers, but also physicists. Because they keep thinking, maybe it was an asteroid. But apparently it did a lot of things that it's not something that you find in asteroids. It didn't move like a rock that was thrown through our solar system as we're used to seeing. In fact, they say that Oumuamua was a bit dry. Like a badass martini. A bit too dry. So it threw them off. So one of the questions that they had is, could sunbeams move the object? Is it possible that our sun had some kind of an influence on this object from 2, 4, 5, 6, 8 trillion, billion, gajillions light years away? Nobody even knows. No one knows how far it came from. But all they knew is that it did not fit the form of what they're used to do or see or track, because to be honest, no one knew that thing was coming through. Some of the ideas is that because it was made of a porous material, it actually captured lights, and so sunbeams from our sun were able to move it in a way that it would not make it break away from where it was traveling, but at the same time able to, give it a bit of a push. Can let it act a little crazy enough to throw people off. Eric Flecoy, who is a physicist at the University of Oslo, who apparently was inspired by Aimé Moreau Martin's theory that the sun was indeed pushing Oumuamua because it was a lightweight enough, according to popular science, lightweight enough to make it move faster than a regular asteroid would. Apparently, Flecoy and his team decided they wanted to see if the theory was true, and after studying Oumuamua's rotation, they noticed the slowing of the rotation fit the theory that light can provide more force on certain surfaces. When a surface is cooled down, it can force movement. So if the sun can cause Oumuamua to turn it, it could also cause it to make it go faster, which according to Flecoy, sorry, not McCoy, because he's not the real McCoy. According to Flecoy, that validates the theory, basically. Not really sure what that means, to be honest, because, they were reporting early on, right from the beginning, that Oumuamua was acting erratically, that its speed as it traveled, its velocity as it traveled to our system was much faster than any known asteroid. So what happens when you don't know shit and you're involved in science? You find answers wherever you can. And a lot of times, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit that you're trying to put together to make it stick. It is now, according to this article, because I don't exactly recall when Oumuamua came through, but if you're saying it's been 2 years and you're still talking about it, sounds like you don't have a fucking answer. Sounds like you're making shit up as you go along. So some random pencil pocket protector guy comes up with a theory, and so you want to go with it in order to explain away the unexplainable. So strangely enough, now all of a sudden, science is looking out for asteroids and objects that are coming in from distant places. And now they're trying to explain those. And so all of a sudden, we have one that comes through and it has a tail and it looks like a regular asteroid. So now we're good. We're back to normal. But they still go back to Oumuamua because it makes no sense to them. Because it doesn't follow what they're used to. And they'll continue to talk about this thing. I'm telling you, for another 2 to 3 years, they're going to continue to talk about Oumuamua because I have a feeling that it's not the last time that we're going to see an object like that go through our solar system. And they need to find answers because probably, and maybe in the past, they have seen this. They just didn't say shit because they didn't know what to do with it. But now it became public. Thanks to social media and the internet, everyone knows it. So now you need to find an explanation to why you fell short. Why your theories and the way you think about physics, space, astrophysics, why this did not fit the mold. Because if this one didn't fit the mold, a lot of others do not. And maybe some that you decided to kind of turn a blind eye to just because you couldn't give us an answer. Just write it down, starting today. This is not the last conversation we're going to talk about Oumuamua, the far-flung, mysterious object that even science says maybe it was a probe. Hey, mister, get it right.
Pretty little boy
Hey, mister, don't forget to follow the podcast everywhere that it is found on the Facebook page, UFO Buster Radio, and also the Twitter handle at UFO Buster Radio and at Manny Moonraker on the, what's the name of that thing? Instagram. Yeah, God, how could I forget? It is important in order to keep the podcast going is that folks share it, like it, subscribe, all that goodness that you hear constantly from the millennials. Millennials, God. This is it. This is the end of the Sunday episode. Like always, I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate the time you guys spend whenever you communicate with me, send me emails or whatever. I'm trying to line up some interviews for December because it is, of course, the last month of the year. So I might as well get someone on here to talk the talk, walk the walk, and we'll have to see together if that individual that is chosen is worthy of really being part of the, ufology landscape, if you will. Very possibly, I will also be starting a podcast dedicated to the Dark Horde. Because again, I feel that the paranormal, initially ufology was part of the paranormal and folks try to separate the two, right? They said, no, UFOs and aliens are totally separate. It's not part of the paranormal. I think it is. In my heart of hearts, I feel that UFOs, aliens, ghosts, demons, oh my, I think they're all connected in some way. And really, if you look at Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo, I believe he thinks that himself, that there is some kind of connection, whether it be interdimensional or whatever it is, that connects all these topics together because they're all unexplained. We have no answers, and that's the world that we live in. Some folks want to ignore it. Some folks, it's easy for them to, go about their business, yet they do. They have these experiences. They feel it in their presence. The overall question is, are they all connected in some way or another? We're going to find out one day, hopefully before the Moonraker is DOA, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to end with my favorite song this month, which is Juggernaut. I don't know if you guys like it. If you do, let me know. Hit me a Twitter tweet. Send me an Instagram message. Go post on UFO Buster Radio to let me know if you like Juggernaut. Or just post it right now on the speaker box. With this, I say ciao. Tomorrow is Monday, and we start that work week again, so hopefully it won't be too bad for you. Ciao.